Hello Facebook ads people, I'm Konstantinos, and today we're going to go into my PC and I'm going to show you different accounts and how many ad sets you should put in the CBO campaigns for these ad accounts, because I believe that when we cover this thing in theory, some people are confused. I might have covered this in a previous video, I don't remember, and I don't care. Okay. Because I want to do something different today. Today I want to go into ad accounts. I want to check different numbers over there, analyze them and tell you that this is what I would do here, this is what I would do here, this is what I would do here. If your question is about Advanced Plus, you should put more than 10. If you have a very small budget like 50 per day, between 5 and 10 ads, because you can do only one ad set. And if you have much higher budget, you can go to 20 or 30, doesn't matter, but then you have to watch my videos about Advanced Plus optimization. So let's go to my PC, let's see different cases. I know that you like the videos that I show ad accounts and stuff, while my editors hate it because they have to do more editing, but it's okay.
And I hate it. I hate it!
And I will see you there. Hi guys, I would like to interrupt this video in order to talk to you about my new mentorship programs, and I would love if you go to the website. You're going to find the link in the description, or you can find it in the menu of my website, and over there you're going to be able to see the different mentorship programs that I have. You can find the one that is going to fit better your needs, and I will hope to see you there. First of all, before we start and go to show you into different ad accounts, how many ad sets I would put, what kind of budgets and all of that, I need to clarify that whatever we discuss here is for cold traffic ads. For retargeting ads, you should not CBO, because we don't want our warm traffic to actually compete with each other. Our warm traffic is very specific, okay? And also, when you are watching the numbers to calculate how many ad sets you should put in a CBO campaign, you should not see the numbers to see your average cost per purchase based also on retargeting. Retargeting is another thing, okay? We don't discuss about retargeting here, we discuss about cold traffic audiences. So CBO is only for cold traffic, it's not for retargeting. There is no reason for you, unless I guess if you do a CBO here for one ad set, which is an ABO basically, it doesn't matter. But if you do a CBO with several ad sets, there's no point of putting, for example, a cold traffic audience with a retargeting audience, because the cold traffic audience is going to take all the budget, it's a bigger audience. There's no point of doing different retargeting audiences to compete with each other, because retargeting audiences are not cold traffic audiences, they're already warm traffic, which we want to convert. We don't want to lose some of them along the way, or compete with other warm audiences. They're very specific audiences. So whatever we discuss here is CBO, and it's CBO for cold traffic audiences. Let's go on this one, for example, okay? Let's see on this month, for example, the average cost per purchase that we get is 107, and on last 7 days, it's 94, so it's getting better. Okay, that's good. So let's calculate a little bit. Let's take out this and let's calculate. In this ad account, we can see that we are spending a significant amount of money, 62K in the last 7 days, okay? So let's discuss how much should we put in a CBO, okay? So you can pause, for example, and you can think with yourself and just then see, continue the video to see what I'm saying. Now, what I'm going to do here is, first of all, I'm going to have 94, okay? And I'm going to multiply that with 5 or 6, which means 5 ad sets. That means 470, okay? Again, this ad account is a big ad account, so $500 can be one campaign. One campaign can be 1,500. In this, for example, when you do Advanced Plus campaigns, we can easily add 20, 30, 40 ads inside the Advanced Plus and have $1,000 as a budget and see the distribution. Let me see, for example, how much do I have on this one. Oh, this one doesn't have a lot, but let me see this one, for example. This one has 17 ads, as you can see. And we are left after optimization with these over here, okay? So let's think a little bit about CBO, because that's the topic. In CBO over here, what I would do is that I would say, okay, my budget here, for example, let's say that my budget is 500. So 500 divided with 95, which is what I get in the last days, I'm getting 5.2. Perfect. I'm going to do a CBO campaign. I'm going to add 6 assets inside or 7 if I want to make the process slower or if I want to try to improve. Let's say that I have a budget of 1000, for example, here, okay? What am I going to do? I'm going to divide that with 95, and then that gives me 10.5. Can I do 11 assets? Yes, I can do 11 assets. On the other hand, what I can do is that I can divide also this by 2, get 5.2. And in that case, instead of going for 6, go for a little bit more, go for 7, 8, okay? This is what I would do. I would go for 7, 8, or I would go with 11, okay? It's not a big difference. 7, 8 is more aggressive, 11 is more safe. Let's say that we have $2,000 budget here, okay? Then I would divide it with 94. And I would have 21. In that case, for sure, I wouldn't go with 21 assets in a CBO. I would divide that with 2 and I would go with 10.6 or the other thing. In that case, I would try to go for more sales per asset over here, which is more aggressive, but it's much more easier to actually control it and see how it's going to work. But let's discuss a little bit about a situation that we might have here. Let's say that we have 200, for example, and then we divide this with 90, 95. The result here is 2.1. No, I'm not going to do 3 ad sets. Most of the times, I need to have very limited budget in most of my CBO campaigns to do 3 ad sets. I wouldn't even do 2, okay? Two ad sets is nothing. But if I have very limited budget, like 50 or something, or 100, especially 100 in that case, okay? For example, if we do 100, we should put only 1 ad set if we do that. But in that case, I would put 3, okay? 3 is my minimum when I do CBO, my bare minimum. But if we have here 250, for example, as we said here, divided with 95, I would do 2.6, which means 3, but I would do a little bit more, okay? I wouldn't do just 3, I would do 4. When the assets are 2, 3, after me dividing, I'm going to do between 3 and 5. This is where I'm going to stay. Okay, so this explains how many assets and the budgets a little bit, just so that you can understand. Now, if you are having this kind of cost per result, and you are not able to spend a lot of money to get it, this is your fault, okay? Because here, as you can see, the ROAS is good. We are getting 94, but we're getting very good ROAS because we have high ticket items here selling. So you need to spend more. So it's very typical here to do campaigns for 500. I never do a campaign which is smaller than $500 per day. Let's go in another ad account. It's not smaller in terms of spend, but it's smaller in terms of cost per purchase and average order value. The average cost per purchase over here is 25. This one and this one is retargeting. These over here are cold traffic ads, okay? And this is manual bidding. So in this ad account, most probably I will go on around 25, which is what I get also here. The retargeting that we have here has very, very small budgets. It's like, oh no, this is not retargeting. This is only retargeting. And this one has a budget of $100, okay? While this one is actually spending around 5K per day, okay? So on the last 7 days, 1.93, on the whole month, 2 ROAS, 145K on the spend. Now, what am I going to do here? Okay, so here it's a different situation, and you can have campaigns for $100, for example. Okay, so here, let's say that we have to spend 100, okay, divided with 25. Much more easier, okay? So I would put 5 ad sets, maybe 4 to 5 ad sets, totally fine. Here, the biggest obstacles that you're going to find is to decide how many ad sets you're going to put to the bigger budgets. So over here, let's go, for example, to 400, divided with 25. This is 16 ad sets. Would I put 16 ad sets? Most probably no. I would divide this by 2. I would put 8 ad sets and maybe 1 more. So between 8 and 10 is what I would put here, because I would like to push my ad sets to go for 2 sales instead of 1. I do believe that 16 ad sets is a lot. I do want you to know that in 2024, I'm not going to do such big campaigns with so many ad sets. I'm going to do less ad sets. So this is what I was going to do. What I was going to do if I had 1000, for example, okay, and I want to do a CBO. Most probably I would have done an Advantage Plus with 1000 and not a CBO. I would have done $500 easily. Another thing that I want to clarify is that in these ad accounts, you need to check which numbers work with CBOs. For example, this is a very good, these are very good examples over here for you to understand, but later on you might see that you like to optimize and you optimized better. For example, a campaign that had 250 with 7 ad sets, for example. And because you have done this once, you will do it again and again, and you will find that this is a very good combo for this ad account. This is what you need to observe. What I'm showing you here is just the initial push in order to start finding how many ad sets you should put and based on your budget and all of that. And also to realize, for example, based on the previous example, that if you're getting a higher cost per purchase, for example, if you're having 60 and you just want to spend 50 per day, then maybe you should not do even a CBO campaign and you should just do an ABO with 1 ad set, okay? The fact that you're seeing people doing CBOs, it doesn't mean that you can do it, for example, in your ad account if you have a very small spend. Or you should not put many ad sets, or you should not put a small amount of ad sets, okay? Because then it's going to spend a lot per ad set during the day. For example, here, if you put, let's say 100 and just 2 ad sets, okay? Still, it's going to have good results because it's a good ad account, but it's like you're pushing it to spend 50 on each one of them. And maybe one of them, because it's CBO, it's going to spend 80 and the other one 20. So you're pushing a lot your ad sets. But if you go and you are actually going to split that and do something more normal like 4 or 5 ad sets, then you're slowing the process, okay? And you're letting it spend whatever is going to bring you good results, because the initial number that you're watching over here, in order for you to decide how many ad sets you're going to put, is your average cost per purchase, is a number that you're actually achieving. So it's not an issue for you to achieve it again inside a CBO campaign. So you can see that in this ad account, it's much more easier to take decisions. I wouldn't do a CBO campaign with more than 500 over here, because that would increase a lot the amount of ad sets. But if I had to do one with 1000, for example, let's say that someone put a gun into my head, okay? Then I would divide that with 25, I would get 40. I would divide that with 2, I would get 20, and then I would divide that with 2, I would get 10, and most probably I will add another 2 or 3. So I wouldn't go with 13 because I'm superstitious, I would go with 12. Okay, so most probably this is what I would have done. But if I had 1000, I would put a lot of ads inside an Advantage Plus and I would run it like this. I hope that this explains how many ad sets you should put in a CBO campaign and how you can actually calculate it. Now, in the case that you don't have any results yet and you don't know what to do, first of all, you have to check the product. If you sell something for 1000, you have to be a little bit prepared for the starting budget. Don't start with 100 per day, start with 300 per day to see what kind of results you are getting. If you're having normal items, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, what you can do is you can do 103 ad sets, 4 ad sets. This is something that I would easily do in order to initially test the limits of the ad account. And I would take it from there. After that, I would see my initial results, what kind of results I'm getting, and then I would start adjusting. Then I would start seeing, I'm doing my CBO optimization. Is it going fast? Is it going slow? Should I remove one ad set instead of doing 7? Should I put 6 on the next one so that I can have more spend between the ad sets so that I can optimize, and so on. You can watch my CBO optimization videos to understand better of what I'm talking about. But I hope that this helps it in terms of understanding how much you should spend and how many ad sets you should put in a CBO campaign. So now there are many examples, okay? And whoever doesn't understand it, I guess you can tell me why you don't understand it. I can make another video that I explain it more, I guess. But I feel that we have covered this a lot now, and more people are going to understand it, and everybody's going to be aligned on this subject. Don't forget that if you want to learn more, you can check my book, my course, or my website. And until we meet again, guys, be creative and be consistent.